Hello my friends and welcome. We have some awesome update from the front line, again near to Robot. You can see the dark blue color, those are the territories that Ukraine was able to get in the last 24 hours, and those territories are not simple because there are the Russian defense lines. Before our guys continue the assault towards Novoprokopivka, they need to extend the territory sideways to avoid the encirclement by the Russian forces. Here Russia concentrated quite a lot of reserves, so they may attack Ukraine from the flank. I would say that penetrating the Russian defense lines from the side is a little easier compared to the front attack. But all of this is the high elevation area with maximum of altitude 178 meters. Here we have 172. This area is a little lower ground compared to surroundings. Probably that is why it was used as the main assault direction for Ukrainian army. Basically it was the better thing to do, but now the problem is that all of the territories around are on the high ground, which is difficult to get under control. What vectors does Ukraine has in this direction? Well, towards this side, as you can see, from Robotyne to the south, also expanding this way, and one vector towards Verbova. Actually, there are two vectors, but we may speak about the single main attempt to get Verbova under control. However, for the last week, I haven't seen the huge success of Ukrainian army towards this direction. The only thing that Ukraine was able to achieve is to take this ground over here towards Novoprokopivka and this ground over here. Nevertheless, this bridgehead expands near to Robotyne. It's early to say about the full front lines penetration, but the Ukrainian army may achieve it this autumn. Okay, finally we have the confirmation from this resource that Ukraine is moving to liberate Klishchiivka. By the way, according to the Deep State military map resource, Ukraine liberated all of this territory, but here we may see the red area in this part. So, according to this resource, Russia is still controlling the part of the village, but Ukraine moves and pushes them every day. Well, I think that the next week will show the full liberation of Klishchiivka and surrounding territories. Exactly the same Klishchiivka village, but from the Deep State military map resource. As you can see, they put the part of the village into the gray area, and they say that the fighting is ongoing over there. Russians still presented. So I guess it was too early for me to announce the full liberation of Klishchiivka around 1 day ago. Still the fighting continues. Some interesting news about Kadyrov are coming from the Russian media resources. Before we go for them, let me tell you about the sponsor and also the partner of my channel. Yes, it is the Atlas VPN. They still have the awesome deal that they made especially for my followers, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $170 per month, plus you'll have 6 months for free. This is the best offer on the market from all of the premium VPN services. And let me tell you, why do you need it? It has military encryption standards, strongly securing your data and your devices from being reached by government, unwanted ads, and also hackers. Yes, you may say hackers, why do they need my account? Well, actually, my friends, I got personal experience that my pilot blog channel dedicated to aviation was hacked. Then I was using public Wi-Fi. All of my videos were deleted, and after that hackers told me to send Bitcoin for them and they will open access to my own account. I didn't transfer anything and just started the new channel with the same name. And obviously after that case I use the VPN all of the time, and for me personally Atlas VPN is the best VPN out there. It has a security breach device monitoring feature, so it alerts me when someone tries to reach my device. Then I use the public Wi-Fi. Then I see that message, I disconnect from that public Wi-Fi. Atlas VPN is very fast. It guarantees you the best streaming connection, then you watch movies on Netflix. And also by changing your virtual location you may get access to watch all of the movies, all of the series on Netflix platform. It helped me a lot. And now my friends, please check out my personal link in the video description just below, or scan the QR code available on the screen, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $170 per month plus 6 months for free. This is the limited offer that was made especially for my followers. So what are you waiting for? Hurry up to join the club. So what happened to Kadyrov? According to some of the Russian media, he is in a coma state in a central clinical hospital of the administration of President of the Russian Federation. He has very serious kidney problems. Actually, yesterday we started to receive the information from the Ukrainian official intelligence representative, and they say that Kadyrov is in a deep problem with his health. And now we have more details about his case. He didn't record the video or didn't post anything on his media resources as he usually does. Then there are some rumors about his health or his death. On this picture you may see Prigozhin and Kadyrov. Definitely they supported each other at the beginning of the war, but after a while Prigozhin decided to play his own game. By the time then Wagner soldiers took the Bakhmut city, he complained about Shoigu, Gerasimov, as we know, about the deficit of the ammunition, about the problems basically with the Russian military. From that point, Kadyrov supported Shoigu, Prigozhin and Putin. So this friendship turned into some sort of the confrontation, but Putin probably remembered how Kadyrov supported Prigozhin. So Putin might be the real cause of Kadyrov's kidney problems, or Kadyrov definitely has the poor health. Well, actually the life of Kadyrov could be potentially supported with artificial kidney for quite a while, and later on he might get the new kidney from someone. However, at some certain cases the transplantation is not possible. But again, my friends, it's kind of early to say whether Kadyrov is really sick or not. We don't have the real proofs, videos, photos, or any kind of the official information which is coming from the Russian side. Just some of their media resources stated that Kadyrov is in coma, and some of those media resources are not trustworthy. But we have the statement from the Ukrainian officials, from our intelligence. That is why I would say that probably it is the truthful information. However, as I say to you again, we need to wait a little. The next week will show everything. Just yesterday we spoke about the small rocket ship Sarum that was targeted by the Ukrainian drone Sea Baby. That drone is kind of the small one, so potentially it may just damage this ship. Here on a picture that was taken yesterday, we may see the non-starter situation. Two of the tow ships which are towing this Samum ship somewhere. The military ships usually go by their own power to the bay, especially this vessel, it's not really the big one. But honestly saying, I don't see any damages to the ship construction. As our special services reported, the ship got damages to the aft part. And if we go to the aft part, you may see just the dark painting, and that's it. Maybe the other side of the ship was damaged. Alright, let's go back to the military map because we have some crucial information that might change the scenario for the Ukrainian counteroffensive operation. The information is coming from the Kherson region. It seems like Ukraine sends more reinforcements to those islands, and next they want to move them forward for the counterattack. We have this information from both of the sides, from the Ukrainian and the Russian military bloggers. Also, we have the tiny piece of the information from the Ukrainian officials saying about some sort of the landing operation across the Dnieper River, but they're not saying where it's going to happen or where it's already happening. Because according to the Russian resources, Ukraine sent lots of the forces across the Dnieper River just in Kherson. We are speaking about those islands, and soon Ukrainian army will go and take Dachi and Kardashinka under control. That's my prediction. Russia has almost no defense lines in this area compared to Zaporizhia Oblast, but Ukraine is unable to conduct the full-scale attack operation across the Dnieper River because all of the bridges were cut by Russians. Then they retreated from this place. So for the full-scale attack, Ukraine needs to take this ground under control, to put air defense systems and other stuff over here, plus some of the artillery that might be sent using the pontoon bridges, and after it we need to construct quite a robust bridge, or it's better two of the bridges, and send heavy armor tanks and other stuff, accumulate them over here, and then start the full-scale attack. That takes lots of the time, lots of the efforts. That is why I still think that this operation is more complicated compared to what is happening in Zaporizhia or Donetsk. One more sign that this war may continue for many years is that the United States military factories are planning to accelerate the production of the artillery shells till 100,000 shells per month by 2025. And I'm recording this video in 2023, and still we don't have that massive production this year. It will only happen in 2 years. You may see how much inertia this mechanism has. You probably understand to what country all of those shells are going. The problem is that Russia announced that they already make 2 million artillery shells per year. It means that per month, right now, they're producing 166,000 artillery shells, many more compared to the United States planning to produce in 2 years. That's the big problem for Ukraine. Plus, Russia wants to get more artillery shells from the North Korea. That is why our allies are eagerly searching for shells for Ukraine, massively increasing their own production. The good thing for Ukraine that our artillery is way more precise than Soviet-made or Russian-made, so our soldiers may do the same job using less shells than Russians. The Senate of the United States of America is going to ask some of the questions from Elon Musk and how he uses the Starlink, why he banned the signal over Crimea and Donbass, by the way. Now there is the confirmation that he personally interrupted the internet connection over those territories. This act dramatically reduced the capabilities of the Ukrainian armed forces in Crimea or in Donbass. Before that, Elon Musk spoke with some of the Russian officials who threatened him that Russia would respond with nukes. Luckily now, Pentagon officials took over the control of the Starlink in those particular regions, so we don't have any more problems with signal. Hopefully, Senate will push Elon Musk as they pushed the CEO of TikTok before. The United States Secretary Blinken commented on Attackham's probable delivery to Ukrainian army. He says that this question is under review right now. He also added that only Ukraine will decide where to fire those long-range missiles. They still say that Ukraine should use that weaponry on its legitimate territory, and they do not recommend Ukraine to fire those tools to the Russian side, to the Russian territory. But if Ukraine does it, even on the Russian territory, it's the own business of Ukraine. Well, I would say here is something new, so we do not recommend, but if you use it, it's okay, it's your responsibility. Before, our allies said no, it was robust and firm no, do not use our weaponry on the Russian territory. Now they say, okay, if you want, it's your decision. Actually, it's untied in the hands for Ukraine because there are many of the Russian military airfields on the Russian territory that are constantly in use to target the Ukrainian civilian, first of all, infrastructure. I think that our allies are changing their mind about the case because there is no any kind of the red line crossing reaction as it was advertised by the Russian state. So basically there is no escalation happening from the Russian side, then Ukraine fires drones or missiles on the Russian territory. Just lately we used Storm Shadow and Scalp cruise missiles to attack the Russian submarine and ship, and there is no response, even no comments from the Russian officials. They all forgot their promises about the red lines, etc. The ex-Russian President Medvedev said many times that they will respond with nukes. He wrote already like 20 of the tweets with the threats about Crimea, about everything, so it doesn't work. West already sees that Putin is a weak person, he's bluffing and he's not able to respond. That is why many more allies are willing to help Ukraine in the military sphere. For example, Belgium is joining the coalition for the Ukrainian pilot training on F-16s. Awesome. Okay, I just checked the Russian resources and indeed they are in Klishchiivka, in those last streets of the village. Moreover, according to the video that I am unable to show you, they sent more reinforcements that were under the constant fire of the Ukrainian artillery. but still they went somewhere to hide in those demolished buildings, and Ukraine will continue to use the artillery to put them away. So finally next week I expect them to leave Klishchiivka. What's the nonsense to send reinforcements in that demolished place? It just brings more losses to the Russian army. It's very stupid thing to keep this village under control. For them, obviously, not for Ukraine. Speaking about the Russian losses, we have this graph since the beginning of the war, and here you can see the most losses, almost 25,000 soldiers Russia had in February this year. Then there was the fight for the Bakhmut city. In July, losses also increased because it was the start of the counteroffensive operation by Ukraine. So the more the fight is happening, the more losses both of the sides have. As for Ukraine, we have less losses than Russia, but still those are dramatic. We don't have the figure published by Ukrainian officials, and I want to trust the Russian figures also, because recently Putin said that Ukraine lost 18,000 armored vehicles just during the recent counteroffensive operation. 18,000 vehicles is the huge number, and I wonder what army has that number of the vehicles in it. So it is complete nonsense. Do not trust the figures which are coming from the Russian side, but based on the information which is coming from our volunteers and in general in Ukrainian society, in Telegram channels, I would say that Ukraine already lost around 90,000 soldiers, unfortunately, since the beginning of the war. It is not a precise figure. It may vary, but based on all of the vehicles that we lost and the known places, the cemeteries where Ukrainian soldiers were buried, we have the number of 90,000. Still almost 3 times less than the Russian side, but again we lost many more civilians than the soldiers. In Mariupol alone there could be around 150,000 people who lost their lives. The numbers are really shocking, and I wonder what drives the Russian soldier to fight in Ukraine, to lose their lives just for nothing. Those numbers are huge. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video, and also don't forget to check the link in the video description just below, where you may find the Atlas VPN Premium with a huge discount, especially made for my followers. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.